Third Stage Consulting. We're an independent consulting firm that helps clients through the world with their digital transformation journeys. And I'm live joining you here on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, live here in Brussels at the Odoo Experience, which is the annual conference for Odoo. And I'm here in the midst of an interview with Fabien, who's the CEO of and the founder of Odoo.
Hi, Eric.
Hi, Fabien. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for having me, actually. I guess it's the other way around, because I came here to your conference.
Me in your live stream.
Right. Yes. Thanks for joining the live stream. And by the way, if anyone has questions at any point in the conversation here, I encourage you to please ask those questions. I'm checking the chat as we're talking here. I'll be keeping an eye on the chat here. So if you have any questions for Fabien about Odoo or about technology trends and enterprise technology in general, please feel free to chime in with those questions. So I guess just to start, Fabien, maybe just tell us a little bit about Odoo. What is Odoo? Why did you start it? Just give us a little bit of background if you don't mind.
So Odoo is a suite of business apps. You have plenty of applications like a website builder to create your website, or CRM, accounting, inventory, manufacturing. And if you install different applications, they fully integrate to each other like you would have with a traditional ERP. We see it in the way that traditional management software is for managers. We do software for the people. We focus on the productivity. We want everyone in the company, whether it's an accountant, a recruiter, a worker, to be more efficient. So it's a suite of productivity tools that manage all your business processes.
Great. And why did you start the company? Or why and when did you start the company?
I started the company 18 years ago. I did it because I was convinced that small and mid-sized companies at the beginning were totally inefficient. And people suffered from that, actually. There were a lot of depression at work because they did administrative work, they didn't have access to information. So I wanted to make the life of people at work much better. And so we started with a few departments, activity to make it better, and then we grew up to a full-featured ERP, even more.
Got it. And you started 18 years ago. Now it's a global company. You have customers all over the world. And you're hosting the Odoo Experience here starting tomorrow. Tell us a little bit about Odoo Experience and what people can expect for those that are joining.
So it's in Brussels, in Belgium. We have 10,000 attendees. It's quite large, one of the largest IT conferences in the world. 5,000 hotel rooms. So most of the people come from, not from Belgium, but 35% of the people are foreigners. 250 conferences just to show the new features of Odoo. So that gives you an idea of the size of the release we will release tomorrow. It's very exciting. We have great parties too, with lots of beers, and I mean we are in Belgium,
right?
And bands and concerts. It's actually quite cool because it's a large event, and everything is done by Odoo members. So if you go to the bar, there will be some developers because they run the bar. Even the band, the concert with the music group, are people from Odoo. Or the food, we have a cook from Odoo who prepare the food. We are talking about 7,000 meals per day, morning, lunch, and evening. Everything is done by Odoo people, so it's great. You can go anywhere, welcome desk or whatever, and talk about artificial intelligence or talk about accounting. We have, for us, for all the colleagues at Odoo, it's like a big team building.
Right. That's really cool. And yeah. I was wondering what the Odoo band is, but it actually is.
It's employees from Odoo that formed the band just for the event. It seems bad, but it's actually quite good. They're really, really good.
Right. That's good. What kind of music is it? Just out of curiosity.
It's more rock covers, so they play music but more like a rock band.
Okay. Very cool. Yeah. So it sounds like there's a lot of education and entertainment that we can expect here at the conference.
Yeah, and it's the one time of the year where the whole community can meet each other, because we used to work online on the internet, but we have a very large community on Odoo, people living from Odoo, and once per year we all meet together here, and it's not only party, but we also teach all the new features, exchange experiences. So we learn a lot of things during these 3 days.
Right. Now, right before we went live on the stream here today, we were talking. You and I were talking about some of the trends in the industry and where we think the enterprise technology industry is going. So, where do you see just in the next 3, 5, 10 years? How do you see enterprise technology evolving?
So I believe most of the ERPs today are about managing the processes. You need to consolidate your accounting data, manage the process from the purchasing to the delivery. It's about running the business process of the company. But I do believe that it's changing. What matters now is not the business process. Business process is the minimum of it. But what's really important now is productivity tools for every employee, for every people in your company to be more efficient. We were talking about recruiter who spend 50% of their time just scheduling meetings. I mean, it's totally inefficient, it's purely administrative. If you have good tools, you can remove this burden from their shoulders. And so they can concentrate on their job. And it's the same for accountants. Most accountants spend their time recording data in the system. I mean, with artificial intelligence today, those things are automated. And so they can focus on optimizing your taxes or validation of your reporting. So they can do more valuable things, and it's better for them. So we are transitioning from old school ERP that are dedicated to run the process to productivity tools for all employees of the company. And I do believe that it's a huge competitive advantage. When you are all your people being 2 or 3 times more productive because they have great tools, that changes completely the company.
Right. Now Odoo is one of the strengths of the product that you and I have talked about is the flexibility, but also the modularity of it, the fact that you can deploy individual apps that focus on just one function or one piece of a business without having to necessarily worry about how you're going to integrate all the other pieces, although you could integrate if you wanted to, but you can also deploy in more of a sort of a best of breed model. Is that a fair summary of how Odoo sort of works?
With traditional ERPs, you have to work top down. You decide and you have a big block with your accounting, your purchasing and sales and inventory, but it's like a big block, you have to keep everything on the thing. With Odoo, you can start with one app. You could choose to just run your human resources, and then you can expand based on your needs. And we actually have the largest app store in the world. App Store has 37,000 applications. The second biggest after us is Force.com of Salesforce with 6,000. So we are 5 times bigger than the App Store of Salesforce. So we really have bricks that you can reuse to build the suite that fits your need.
Right. That's super interesting. And so it almost seems as though it's more of a bottoms up way that organizations.
We do both. We also have clients who need a top down, who come with this idea that they need an ERP to transform the whole company. So we also answer to that kind of request. We really do both.
Right.
And often, a lot of clients, they actually use Odoo even before knowing it. So they have like a project management team that runs Odoo for their projects. And then when they need something like an ERP, then there is someone inside the company saying, hey, but by the way, we already use Odoo, why not checking if we can use more applications for Odoo?
Yeah. Yeah, I could see different department heads or different work groups within an organization deciding that rather than waiting for a top-down mandate to change systems, they could go leverage a certain module within Odoo.
And it really helps to have a free trial or an open source because they don't even need to go through the purchasing process.
Yeah.
So they can say, I start with the one app free, I need something, I just start, and they use it for the department. And after that, we can go inside the company.
So tell us about the free trial. How does that work? Because that's pretty unique, most software companies.
First, you have to understand how we position ourselves with the traditional players. On the market, you have 2 types of players. You have the ERPs, SAP, NetSuite, Microsoft Dynamics. They have a lot of features, but they're also complex and expensive. And so on. On the other side, you have the singular players, like Trello, MailChimp. They do one feature, but they are very similar. So they have the ability to deploy. Our idea is that we can do both, and we actually are the only one on the market we are doing both. So as complete as traditional ERP, but also as simple as the singular players. But you know what? We don't want to compete with the singular players. We don't want to compete with Trello or MailChimp or so. So our offer is to say, if you need one app, you need a mass mailing, like we do with MailChimp, it's free. You need a website, it's free. You need e-commerce, it's free. You need an accounting software, it's free. And we only charge if you need multiple apps. So that allows us to attack the market of single apps player with a very disruptive offer because everything is free. Free, I mean really free. Unlimited users, with support and hosting and everything. And so on the single app players, we are disruptive because we give everything for free. On the ERP players, we are disruptive because we are simple to perform.
Right. Yeah. Very interesting. So I want to go to some of the chat that we're getting on the live stream here. So first of all, Kyler, who's our marketing director, our global marketing director, suggests that Third Stage should have a band. So if she wants to have a band that could play along with they could play along with Odoo's band as well. So that thanks for that feedback, Kyler. But here's a good question that I tried to ask you, and you didn't fully answer, but maybe we'll try it with Kyler's attempt here. But she had suggested or asked the question, what is next on Odoo's product roadmap? And before you answer that, by the way, if anyone has questions on the live stream, please feel free to chime in. Just drop it in the chat. I'm looking at it right now. So any questions you have for Fabien about Odoo or about technology trends in general, please chime in. But so Kyler asked on LinkedIn, what is next on Odoo's product roadmap? And I think I asked you this earlier about, what are some of the big things you might announce tomorrow? What are some of the little nuggets or previews you can give us on what you're announcing in this new release?
First, one thing is that the roadmap never changed. The key value proposition of Odoo is to have a lot of value for an affordable price. So everything we do is about covering more of the business process of the companies and make it even easier. And so that means challenges in terms of covering complex business process, but also in terms of usability to make it even easier. And that has been a focus since the past 10 years. It's going to be the same focus for the next 2 or 3 years. We need to improve the usability. That means a lot of things. Usability from accountant is the ability to do the bank matching very fast. For recruiter, it's to do the sourcing or fast interviews, that kind of thing. So it's different for different applications. As part of this logic, things we will introduce tomorrow is it's really fast. The new version of Odoo is really, really fast, blazing fast. We used to say it's faster than the blink of an eye, which is 150 milliseconds, and you don't even notice the blink of an eye. We blink 15 times per minute, but you don't notice it. And that's what we want for a user interface. We want the user interface to be transparent so that you focus on your job. But we also bring a lot of new features in accounting, manufacturing execution system. So you have tablets on the shop floor where you can control everything with feedback loop to the PLM and all that kind of things.
Right. That's great. Well, that sounds like a lot of stuff, and that's not even all of it, right? You're going to show a lot of
We
stuff.
have 250 conferences just to explain every new feature. So that gives you an idea of the size of the new version.
And which version is this?
It's Odoo 16.
16. Okay. Good deal. What about on the other part of this then? Getting back to the whole trends thing, what do you think will happen, and where do you see Odoo fitting with the bigger name players? You've mentioned SAP and Microsoft and Oracle, some of those guys. What do you think the landscape's going to look like in the future with the big vendors?
Yeah, to predict the future, you have to understand the past. So it started with operating system because it was very low level in the tech layers. And it started with, you had a lot of operating systems. DOS, DOS, Unix, Linux, POS. And fast forward today, you only have Windows, Linux with Android, and macOS, GUI. And then came the word processor, because they are a bit more complex and user-friendly. So you had Works, WordPerfect, Lotus 123, plenty of word processor. Fast forward today, it's only Microsoft Office and Google Workspace. I do believe that management software will get to a level of maturity where the same will happen. It's going to be a market of commodity where everyone will install, just start in a few clicks, and this will be very affordable. So today we are still like word processor operating system where 15 years ago there are plenty of competitors. But fast forward in probably 5, 10 years, I don't know, maybe 15, it's going to be only 2 or 3 players that will have the whole market, and it's going to be a commodity, accessible to everyone, and every company will be equipped. And yeah, and once I don't know about the other, but one thing is sure is that Odoo will be part of the tree that will remain.
Right.
And I think the other ones won't be the ones we think they are. It won't be SAP, it won't be Oracle, unless they succeed the transformation they failed over the past 10 years. I'm pretty sure that the other ones will be new entrants.
Yeah, it's just changing so fast. I don't see how the big.
They already lost. They are already 10 years behind in terms of this technology. They are still trying to run processes where no company wants productivity. So I don't think them changing that fast to be the one that will transform this digital market.
Right. Well, what about how can people learn more about Odoo? What's the best way for people that can't be here at the Odoo Experience? what's the best way for them to learn about Odoo and what the product can do?
I mean, it's super easy. You go on odoo.com and you start a free trial.
Right.
And you are in Odoo, and it's so simple that you don't need a training. You can do your first quotation or build your own website or run your HR operations. You just start on your own. And if you want to do something a bit more complex, run an industry with PLM, maintenance, things that are more integrated, then on the website there is a button Meet an Expert, and you get a meeting with an expert for within 1 or 2 days. And you explain them, I want to see that, how can I transform my business? And they prepare something for you. And within 1 or 2 days, you have a demo that perfectly fits your business. That's the speed we are working in.
Right.
You need an ERP. Normally, you have to call SDR, then you have qualification call, and then you need 3 months just to get a demo from the other vendors.
Yeah.
You go to our website, you schedule a meeting, and for the next day, you have a demo that fits your business.
Right. That's great. I mean, that's a great way to get people to try it. And you don't have to be super technical, do you, to be able to deploy the trial?
A lot of people do that on their own.
Yeah.
Building a website today is super easy. Launching a CRM, very easy. It gets complex when you have more integrated apps like manufacturing and inventory and purchasing. That's more complex. But there are plenty of applications that are so simple that you can run on your own.
Right. I was also going to ask you too, when we were walking in through the conference area, which is being built right now as we speak, which is why it's so loud. And I know the sound doesn't sound very good on the live stream right now because of that. But there's a lot of construction happening right outside where we're sitting. But a lot of partners. You have a lot of Odoo partners, resellers, consultants that are here at the conference. Tell us a little bit about the ecosystem of Odoo beyond the software itself.
So Odoo, as a company, we have 2,500 employees. But around us, there is 100,000 full-time equivalent working on Odoo. Whether they are developers, people who sell Odoo, or consultants, it's 100,000 people that live on Odoo. I'm not talking about the users. The user or the client, it's millions of people. But it's 100,000 jobs that we created in just a few years. So the ecosystem is very big. Every time we do €1, the ecosystem of partners do €26. That gives you an idea. Every time we develop one application, we develop 350 applications that are official applications of Odoo, accounting, purchase, sales. We have 37,000 applications in the App Store of the community. So there is a leverage on everything we do because of our open source approach.
Right. Very cool. So there's a whole community built around it too, just beyond the technology itself.
The community is made of partners who are official partners, where we have contracts relationship with them. But we also have a community of open source contributors, where we don't have a contract with them, but we work on a daily basis with them, and they contribute, do feedbacks, and things like that.
Great.
So they don't bring money to Odoo SA, our company, but they contribute a lot to the evolution of the software.
Right. That's great. Well, that's all I've got for you. I want to thank you for your time. This is a really good discussion. I know you've got a lot of work to do to get ready for tomorrow still. Just a few hours away before the doors open.
Yeah, the night will be long today.
Yes, it'll be a very long night, I assume. So thank you very much for being here. Really appreciate it. Thanks everyone for listening on the live stream. Apologies for the audio quality issues, but hopefully you can make sense of everything we talked about here today. And we do these live streams every Tuesday. This interview will become part of our Transformation Ground Control podcast, which comes out a week from tomorrow. So be sure to check that out as well. So again, thank you for being here, and we'll look forward to seeing you at the conference.
Yes.
All right. Thanks everyone. Take care.
Thank you.